Hi, good morning everybody. This is Grinny reporting for the UltraCycling magazine from Colombo, and here with me is the race director Yasas. He's the race director for Race the Pearl, the 24-hour race. We just concluded it, and it's been an incredible experience for me. This was my first ever supported race, and the man himself has been a banker and educator and marketing whiz, I should say, before he got into organizing this race. He also has a few other cycling specific events that he runs in Sri Lanka. So over to you, Yashas. Let's start with how you. What was your vision for the race, and how did you start Race the Pearl?
Firstly, I'm in awe and I'm in diva space with Grinny. Amazing to meet you, first of all. We were fascinated. I connected with you, and then suddenly all the dots to connect. Marchi to come to the picture, Soul to come to the picture, and then really having you here in Colombo. So thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
You just did it the human way, so others can aspire. That's the first thing. So welcome to Colombo, welcome to Sri Lanka. And the vision for this race comes from the passion I have, like both all of us, the passion for cycling, getting more people on two wheels. We are such a fast-paced society today, everywhere in the world. The mobile's taken over. So this is slow travel, first of all. Whether you race or not, we are still slow. We are reflecting on things, we see things, we listen to our body. So yeah, unless you're like a very yogi meditating, the bicycle for me has been the transformation. It's a mode of meditation, self-reflection, reality, nature, life, on ground. You fall, you get up, so it brings you back to life. And it brings people like you and me. You rarely find ego in this room because you can't pedal a bike with ego.
Absolutely.
So every time I connect with cyclists around the world, you just feel like you can just start from what's the tire pressure? Okay, are you good? You know who you are, what your background, how much money you have in the bank account, all that disappears, right? Of course, people flaunt their bikes. Everybody has this fancy bike. So vision, as you said, is at a point we all realize we live in a beautiful island, and this island has so much to offer. And when you get on a bike, you realize it's a paradise for cycling. And Sri Lanka has so much potential to take this country to the world on a bike.
Absolutely. I so agree with this because it's been an eye opener for me. In Sri Lanka, I have actually done a tour previously,
Right.
from Colombo to Gale, but this race and the experience over here, I must say that the road conditions in Sri Lanka are incredible. Like it's been an absolute pleasure to ride. This is what is like a dream for every cyclist. It's I think even Srini would concur with what I'm saying. It's
Yes, I guess.
over to Srini. Yeah, would you like to add on to this how your experience was?
I second whatever you were telling. Yeah.
Yeah. So from the road conditions to the people, the hospitality that I felt at every aid station, the hotels that we booked in, that were booked for the riders, the support that was provided, the food, the lavish spread everywhere. Although we did not have the time to stop and enjoy it, but it was absolutely fascinating. And like I said, it's an eye opener. Most of us coming from India are not aware that there is this paradise that exists right next door. It's a really short flight from Bangalore or Chennai to Colombo and or to Jaffna. And now you have the ferry and 40 kgs of limit, so you can just bring your bike and your bag and start riding from Jaffna itself. So it's incredible, and the people are like so sweet. I remember the entire duration of the race. I've just been like, people have been clapping for you on the way, and they're like, oh, go girls, go girls, and it's been an absolutely fascinating experience. So yeah, it is the pearl that has been like a hidden treasure.
It's a hidden treasure. I mean, since 2000 or whatever, prehistory, right? The modern history, people found Sri Lanka as the pearl of the Indian Ocean. That's the whole point. We've had our own challenges as a country in the recent past, but when you take all that aside, you got sunshine, you got great people ready to help you all the time, and if you couple that with nice roads, which means it's a place for cycling, leave everything aside. So I think that's what we're taking advantage of. And and also I'm saying the fact that India and Sri Lanka, we've been connected for so many years. I know India necessarily doesn't need Sri Lanka for that matter, but Sri Lanka has to start thinking we are one country.
Cyclists need.
Cyclists need. But when I did my ride in Chennai, and I've been connected to my friends there a lot, and few more around India. Now that I know all of you, I mean it's just one place. It's just that we are just divided with a little bit of sea, and if you can connect these two plots of land on a bicycle, I think that can be phenomenal work we could do on a bike.
So tell us also about the other. You have 4 typical races, or are they?
Yeah, you can call them races. So what we did in the last couple of years, we've did a lot of things. We've built a mechanical capability, especially Ironman peaked that for us because we had to deal with 400-500 top class bikes. Our mechanics had to be built up to mark. We had to take them overseas, train. So we did that through Spinner, which is...
So just to add to that, apart from the cycling event, Yasser also was involved with hosting the Ironman Colombo in
2018 and 2019.
2018 and 2019. So that is just before COVID. So that was a massive effort.
Yeah, that ups the game for us to be able to handle any type of complex event, especially from a skill competency point of view. And that also ensured that we started working with the right hotel partners, building, because you have to now, right now we're in Jetwing. We start at Jetwing, then we finish at the Kuala Resorts. They also have to come up because this is hospitality, this is about ride experience. You can't do it alone. It's a big team who finally need to understand the value, the potential, and what this really means. So we've done all of that. And also from a bike technology point, we started the first biomechanics labs in this part of the world. So my specialty on cycling is my passion for bike mechanics, biomechanics of cycling. That also keeps us connected to what's happening in the world at the cutting edge level. So we can relate to real requirements of riders who come at all levels. Some are starters, but some come with very specific requirements. If you want to be world class, then you've got to be on top of the game. So all of that took time. And what happened in the last 2 years, we built then the product from a cycling event point of view. So our central hills are in a place called Norelia. It's got epic climbs, Cat 1, 2, even at sea, if you take from a Tour de France point of view. And basically, I mean, the world hasn't seen that at all. You haven't seen it. Because you get an epic climb and you also get the facility, which a lot of places don't have. So when you do those, I mean, absolute amazing climbs, brutal, from our point of view, and then you can go to a 5-star hotel, to a cheap and cheerful restaurants in town. That's not very common. So we've got that in Norelia, and we have an event called World's End 4XR. So the R stands for all the climbs, Radallas, Ramboda, Ragala. And there's only one World's End in the world. That's right here in Sri Lanka. It's called World's End.
World's End.
It's very famous, you can Google it out. So we get permission to go almost close to that. So it's a plateau, it's the highest motorable road in Sri Lanka. Nothing compared to Indian Leys and Manalis and but it has its own beauty, the natural beauty, the moose, we call the Samba. It's also a leopard territory, though we know there's leopard there, but we've never had any encounters like that. So in a way it's very epic and exotic. So that's World's End 4XR. It's a 4,000 meters of climbing within like 12 hours. Family can stay in the center of the city, so enjoy, and you meet the family few times because it just centers
up and come down.
So then we move on to around the Pearl, going around Sri Lanka in 10 days, which is not a race, but it's an endurance challenge. People come here because they love the charity of helping kids with cerebral palsy with wheelchairs. So we've done that over 10 years, donated over 3,000 wheelchairs island-wide. Sri Lanka, anywhere in the world, however affluent or not, there is a population of kids who's born with that impairment. So that project continues. So it's a 10-day ride around Sri Lanka. So some come to train because they get good sun, they have good 1,400 kilometers in their legs, and then they go on to the rest of the events. So that's around the Pearl. Then we go to our actual race across Sri Lanka, which is Colombo Alla Algambe, which is a 200 to the center of the country. Alla, again, little hills. Alla is famous for its little party life.
Okay.
It's a beautiful place, lovely little restaurants, and good music. So we stay over one night. Next day early morning, not actually late breakfast. We go to Arugambe, which is the surfing city. So it goes across Sri Lanka. So it's race across Sri Lanka.
So you have a plus.
Yes, center, across,
Yeah.
and October, November we come to do this our flagship event called Race the Pearl, top to bottom 600 kilometers in 24 hours. So that's the race, the Pearl. So all in all 4 events, out of which 3 are races. One is a 10-day endurance tour ride, which you can convert to a training camp or just to see Sri Lanka, to actually come and help the kids, because it's amazing when you see those kids. Our foundation is called Wheels for Wheels.
Okay.
So when we spin our wheels, we spin the wheels of wheelchair of a kid who just won't be able to do what we do.
That's so wonderful.
Yeah, so that really connects our passion and purpose to what we do. And we keep going, and now with all that's happening with you coming down, we now have a chance to take it to India,
Yeah.
invite everybody to come over here and the rest of the world. So we had 2 pro athletes this
Yeah,
time.
I was just going to ask you that it was so
Yeah.
exciting actually to ride not alongside, but
Yeah.
like out 45 seconds from the start. So pro athletes, tell us more about.
Oh my God, unbelievable! Not that we want to make this a pro race. This is not a pro race. This is about normal people doing a normal amateurs enjoy.
attempting.
Yes, your family is your audience, your inspiration at home, work, community. That's what it's all about. But then we all look up to those Tour de France type of guys. What if they ever wrote this? It was always in my head. How do I connect the yellow jersey to Sri Lanka? So I had a cafe, the first cycling cafe in Sri Lanka. I opened it up because I needed my coffee and I needed a place to hang out. Then people started loving it. And we always had this yellow jersey and a lot of yellow there, right? And every Tour de France we celebrate. So I did go to the Tour de France just to see this. When I had a race bike and was wondering why doesn't my bike go that fast? Because it's a race bike, but and so I want to really go see the Tour de France. I went there. So all that happened, and yellow jersey became like a big factor. I brought the replicas home, and I've been always a fan. So fast forward, this year we had a yellow jersey winner, a stage winner, coming down to Sri Lanka with another great athlete, big promoter of Sri Lanka, Piotr and Jan, from Netherlands and Belgium. Only to realize 2 months before he confirmed, Jan was the same person who won the yellow jersey on the day I was in there. So only 24 I've ever seen, only day I was there, only time I saw a yellow jersey come to life, and 10 years down the line, here is the same guy, I'm shaking hands, taking a picture with him and giving our jersey that we love, the pearl jersey, right, the beautiful pearl. I don't know, man, I can cry,
Yeah, it's like you had to meet him. That dot had to get connected.
I had no idea how this works, It's amazing what a bicycle does.
Yeah.
You are here. That was excited to have you, because we've followed some of the work you've done, inspiring a lot of women. Because for me, when a mother comes to the start line, we have to take a bow. I mean, they have to take a bow. What goes behind to get you there, the home, the family. I mean, that's what changes the corporate world. I've seen that, and we've celebrated that, and see them coming to ultra events. I think we should already give a time bonus and a head start or something like that, because it just shows you what is possible for everybody else who's probably giving an excuse that I want to do this, I want to do that, but I don't have time. So it's just phenomenal to see that happen. So we this time had you. We had Charlie, who's an entrepreneur, who's got so many things happening. She's traveling between Sri Lanka and India all the time. And here she is doing it. She was the first woman to do around the Pearl. Then no one ever thought 10 days around the country was possible.
Yeah.
So she's come all the way with the spirit she brings in. Right?
Absolutely.
We've had Sumeda, a girl from Dambulla. She's caretaker of her family, farmer. She's been doing it for many years. She somehow came to the finish line at 6 a.m. in spite of whatever she's gone through, and she keeps doing it. That just tells you what having more women in this race does. And of course, a girl who was just 20,
won the
First race ever.
Yeah,
Just
it was
broke-
incredible
yeah.
to hear about her. It's so inspiring. She's from the Navy.
Yes, she's new to all of this.
Yeah.
Totally new. And we keep saying you need maturity, age gives you the wisdom to do this. And you get a 22-year-old kid coming and say age is not maturity, I think I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I think just, and then Agnes, I have to tell, she's a star.
So you have a 22-year-old and a
70
72-year-old.
years young.
Yeah.
Okay. And she comes in, she had wanted 24 hours, she misses it by 2, but she betters her timing. And she's all smiles and say, I did it, I'm going to be
What
back.
an incredible attitude. I mean, she was like,
Phenomenal.
oh yeah, I saw her at
Yeah.
the finish and I'm like, oh yeah, yes. She's so happy.
Yeah. So that's a big one for us. And so I think all in all, and we had all women's team this time.
Yeah.
First time. So I think the mix of who we had, Srini coming from India, somebody who's already done a lot of this, who's bringing a lot of experience, very structured, his approach, lot to learn from him. Somebody like you coming, who's first race, you know, the army, the forces guys who never done this before.
Yeah.
I mean, they've
They're
never,
like pro athletes.
the pro.
They were faster than the.
They were faster, but there's no assurance that just because you did 150k and won a race on a sprint, they had to adapt,
Yeah.
change. I think they learned so fast because initially they were chasing the 2 pros trying to race. If they did that, they would have totally,
Cancelled.
yeah. So I think hats off to those boys also. They matured very fast on that 24 hours. Sometimes you wait a lifetime to learn things.
Absolutely.
These 24 hours, if you are learning,
Can be a lifetime.
can be a lifetime change if you're learning from you and learning from others.
Yeah.
And you have to learn from the nature, right? And it's like for me like a mini MBA. yeah. Cycling MBA. It's amazing. So many good things so far.
Well, it was incredible talking to you. You want to add anything?
First time we got the support crew for you.
Yeah.
We've never done that before. As you know, we are just gradually building this race up.
Yeah.
We have a lot to improve. So we had some of the, Jaffna has been like a little distant from this country
Yeah.
for many years.
Yeah.
So we start working with Jaffna, a lot of Jaffna people, support crew, setup is done by kids in Jaffna. So the 2 drivers also this time,
Yeah.
first time we did it. I'll tell you, we were under pins to see how we will really come on board and be part of, because you as a rider, you have requirements, right? Your support has to be on point.
Yeah.
Can you tell a bit about how did you find?
It gelled so well. Our driver was speaking Tamil, and the way I understand, down south in Sri Lanka, most people do not speak Tamil. So we had my sponsor Bachi, who was from Chennai and who speaks Tamil. So they got along very well, and there was no communication problems at all. And he was incredibly supportive. Raghav, our driver, I don't think he had much stops to eat or to even use the restroom.
And riding at 25 kilometers, so
Yeah.
they've never done this.
To ride so slowly, it takes a lot more effort,
Absolutely.
lot more patience. So hats off to this, the 2 drivers, even Srini's driver, from Jaffna coming down all the way with lack of sleep and supporting us. I mean, it started at midnight. So
Yeah.
right from then,
Yeah.
they were like on the sleep backlog, and no complaints, absolutely no complaints. They were smiling throughout, and they did such an excellent
So
job.
glad to hear
I
that.
cannot thank them enough. I mean, it's like
So
really
we-
grateful for that.
We've coined a hashtag called I am a team.
Yeah,
It's something that we truly believe.
yeah,
It was coined along with Jan because he's a Tour de France rider and they understand teamwork because they're all about the team. And then you come down and you find how people connect to this event from nowhere, how some of them quickly gel in and make this so worthwhile because they all become part of the team. Right? It's an
Absolutely.
adventure for everyone.
yeah.
So I'm so glad to hear that from you. So overall, I think we've come a long way, and
So this has been your 6th edition,
this is
right?
6th edition, and so I think we've got a good message for everyone, right?
Yeah.
To come and be part of this. Now train for it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a brutal race.
Yeah.
Make no mistake, it's not. It's an island nation, but it's not a flat land. The Jaffna part, it had everything. In this race had headwinds, heat. A midnight start by itself is not easy because you're struggling with sleep right from the beginning of the race, and then you had headwinds in the supposedly flat section of Jaffna. Heat. I was cramping in Jaffna itself. My hands were cramping because of the sweat and heat and all that. And then so you think the climbs are spread across the entire event, but it's not. It's all together in certain sections, and these are not easy climbs. You
Anything in
have
Sri Lanka comes
constant-
to in a palm. It's a small place, and very quickly everything changes.
It's a little dynamite.
Thing it has it.
coconut trees. So you have like this massive 16% gradient climb. There was one, but otherwise there was like constant 5, 6, 7% was constant throughout that area. You have good rolling terrain, which is like, I mean, for many of the Bangalore folks, that rolling terrain felt like Joke Falls for me.
Yeah.
Joke Falls is similar kind of
Okay.
route. And then the downhill is so deceptive. It's not a downhill section at all. It's got more climbs, and you still have like a continuous 3% gradients on the descent. Okay, so it's brutal. So you really have to train hard and.
So with the B for brutal, we have to add B for beautiful. Especially that now stretch with the greenery and the mountains.
So scenic, it's incredibly beautiful, and it really is a pearl. It's a beauty, it's a gemstone. You have to visit it, you have to ride through it and experience it. There's no other way to go about it. You know, it's absolutely incredible.
So in hotel language we say B&B, bed and breakfast. In cycling language is, as long as it's brutal and beautiful.
Yeah, B&B. Yes, I'll remember this one.
Yes, on that, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so thank you, Grinny, for being here and being an amazing you're part of us now.
Absolutely.
And looking forward to come to Bangalore, meet your crew. I'm looking forward to come to Chennai.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Bachi and team at Seoul who connected both of you. I think we are good friends who will do a lot together.
And to Bikey Venki also.
And Baki Venki, yes,
Yeah,
and
you
you
connected
almost,
us.
and, looking forward to seeing you when I come there. Looks like it's December. I want to ride in Bangalore. Yeah.
Most welcome, and
Yes.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yasis.
Thank you, Grinny. Cheers.
Bye.
This is Gregory Zuber, thanking you for watching and sharing.
Music by Kevin MacLeod.